What's going on, guys? So originally I was planning to do the melee combat and improve that this week. And I started doing it with a list, and I also made a bit of a trail effect that kind of follows the trail of the weapon, which is pretty cool. But when I was doing this, I kind of realized that I started making kind of like band-aids because my character wasn't to scale. So I've been putting like different things in the code to kind of like scale the weapons and everything to 1, because the player, I've been adjusting the scale ever since I started the game, and now I think I'm at a good scale when 1 cube is like 1 meter. So instead I decided to take a step back and see if I could redo my whole character from start to finish, being that I have a lot of I've improved my skills a lot. So originally I started working on, what makes good melee combat, and what I was going to do: add trail effect, particle effects on collision, screen shake, and then make the different animations. But I started thinking that I'm going to be making a lot of different animations, and I have to improve my skills in Blender. And also I found this feature in Blender called the NLA, which allows you to kind of blend animations and make things more efficient, as well as shape keys, which I don't have on my character. So I've been doing a lot of these things bone by bone manually, when there's probably a more efficient way to do it. So the cons here are going to be the time it's going to take to actually do that, but I think it's going to be much quicker than when it took me a few months the last time. But I figured the pros are going to outweigh the cons, so I'll just go through the list real quick here. So the scaling is going to be corrected. It's going to be a 1-to-1, so I don't have to worry about tweaking anything in the code. I could learn and use the Nonlinear Animation editor in Blender to organize animations, which is definitely helpful rather than go keyframe by keyframe. And it also helps in Unity when instead of, and I'll show you in Unity, we have to go like pick manually 1 to 30, 33 to 57. If you do the NLA editor and you have like actions, it kind of just loads automatically, and instead of having all these listed from like whatever the specific keyframes, it gets automatically loaded, so you can just drag it in directly rather than do another step before importing into Unity. I have improved my modeling skills since the start, so I want to see if how fast I could do the beginning to end process of making the character, and doing it how like the professionals do it online. Make an improved IK rig, which is helpful for making animations, rather than, again, doing bone by bone. Blend shapes for like characters blinking and things like that, which I didn't have. It's kind of just like one character pasted on, so he can't blink, he can't move his eyebrows, things like that. Join parts. So right now I have everything separated from hair to the body to the eyes, but I want to combine them all and just change the material. I also have a way to, how it's set up right now is I have all these meshes inside the player model, and I kind of just enable and disable them as I go when I equip it. But really I want it to make it so it just gets instantiated by the player's hand, and there's not all these enabling and disabling. This is another thing to simplify the code that I wanted to do. Shape keys, as I mentioned before, for easier animations, blink, eyebrows moving, and just like subtle things that I don't have to do every animation, but like hand gripping certain weapons or tools, where you could just have one animation for that and just layer it over. As I mentioned here, walk and wave, blink and stand idle. Like, these could be separate animations in themselves, but you should be able to combine them into ones that should be combined. I can plan out all the animations that I want, which before this I was just going step by step, and whatever I was working on at that time I would just make, and then it was just becoming too crazy. And let me just show you real quick. So I have I went idle, walk forward, tilling, and then it's not really that organized. You have like fishing over here, you have bow, you have shield over here. Now I want to make more sword animations, but it's not going to be near the sword swings. So that's kind of my goal, and I just want to go through the entire process from the beginning to end. I started doing some 2D concept art to work on that, so I can make the models from that. And I think it's going to be worth it in the end, because there's going to be a lot more things I'm going to have to tweak. And instead of going into the code and making it so over here I have like each individual type do something different, when realistically I should just be, if it's a weapon or tool, instantiate it. If it's two-handed, just instantiate it in one hand. And if it's, you know, left or right, then instantiate it. But here I have it like enable, right shield, left shield. It's just getting a little too crazy. So that's my plan, taking a step back, and we'll see what I can do for next week. So thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions or comments below.